Anyway, all right, that's enough updates. That's too many updates. This is a ridiculous amount of updates. Let's take a look at the indie of the week.
Ooh.
And this week, Burning Designs is doing a bit of laser cutting. So I deliberately avoided doing tiny fighting men this week because we've done very tiny fighting men the last 2 weeks. And now that Jack is here, all about the tiny fighting men, I thought I'd throw him a curveball by doing some big laser cutting buildings because I'm
interesting.
Mean. So mean.
Or for it.
Well, yeah, either or. But Burning Designs, as you can see, do a substantial amount of laser cuttings. Like so much that we won't get through it all. However, they do have some interesting things. I'm going to start with the most interesting / weird that you're not going to see often, and then we'll back into the more I expected to see afterwards.
I'm seeing some wild and wacky there, so I'm not sure what your offbeat one really is.
Oh, my offbeat ones are so offbeat. So we're going to start with Sky Command. So if people are fans of steampunk and they've often thought, where can I get my hands on some form of laser cut airship? Then this is the place to go. Also, I really like this website because for once I don't have to scroll because I can just do this. Now,
nice.
And now I can just go through the entire category. If anybody else is planning on building a website like this, please do. It means nobody can see the name of these. They'll have to, or the price. They'll have to come to the website for once. But I really enjoy the absolute weirdness of this. Oh, don't want to do that. So yeah, the steampunk stuff it's a genre that gets kind of overlooked. The pure classic Victorian sci-fi steampunk. There's an awful lot of stuff that gets categorized as steampunk these days that aren't massively off the beaten track from that classic old school. And this is more of that, which I really like to see. I'm also impressed that they came up with a way to do their little blimplet with this interlocking cardboard ribbing on it as well. It gives it a certain amount of rigidity.
Yeah.
The only problem is getting a helium-filled balloon inside it to float it around the place.
Where there's a Jerry, there's a way.
Always. Yeah. It's always the way of things. But I really like these, especially, well, there's a classic one there. There's Bat Bat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For scale.
The Conroy Bat, which, as we all know, starts with a couple of big blimps.
It does.
At the start of the show.
With the big searchlights.
Massive spotlights on the bottom. And there is just as you can see, a wealth therein of buildings.
Very
so
cool.
Depending on how you plan on building your airships, you too can do this thing. That is very distinctive, and I'm sure I've seen that in a film, but I can't remember what film. So answers on a postcard, please.
I know it. Jack Boots on Whitehall.
Oh,
I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
I
could be wrong.
I've never seen that, so so it might not be that one.
Oh,
I'm not saying
you're missing out.
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying I've never seen it. Where's my favorite? There's a little disco thing.
I was thinking this could be kind of awesome if you did a tabletop that was quite high off the ground. So you had lots of big scaffolding and girders and ladders and all that kind of stuff going up into the sky. And then you had the airships like strapped to them in between it. And so the skirmishes were all played out on that sort of high flying sort of tabletop. I think that'd be really cool.
This I want to do on a winter board, like steampunk World War II fins.
Oh, that could be cool.
Skiing. Just being towed behind it.
Just skiing, yeah.
I'm a little bit perturbed by the fact that Freya is leading a unit of marauders in Ripper's side of that as well. So I'm not sure what's going on there. That dead zone's gone very
Clash
wrong.
of Worlds. Of Worlds.
It's probably best that, to be fair, I mean, they were hireable mercenaries, so maybe it's something she couldn't pull the rest of the Forge Fathers in for. Or maybe they just went, you know what, no, Freya, no. But yeah, so steampunky, owning the skies, delightful.
Kudos of the use of the cardboard bent this way. I like that they actually managed to put some rivets on the cardboard so it doesn't feel like just flat and it's curved, which kind of breaks the. For me, sometimes the problem with laser cut is that there is a huge limit, which is that everything has to be flat. But if you just put even a little bit of curve, then the limit is not as visible as it was before. It just becomes a technical challenge, but it's not like something that you see and is like, okay, this must be like laser cut because everything is flat. You just have to bend it a little bit. It works great.
Yeah,
there are a few places where that pops up here and there. as we go on. Gaslands, the tabletop game for dinky toys. Can anybody guess what's going to be in the Gasland bit?
Petrol stations.
Better than that, dashboards.
Oh, nice.
That works.
Now, you two can actually shift up and shift down. We played some Gaslands with a friend of mine, Clive. Clive loves Gaslands, and he'd found online little key rings that were gear shifts. And so he bought like a bundle of them. So when we were playing, we could shift, but you're always, it's not something that sits. It's always lying on the table and you have to pick it up and shift into the new gear. Actually being able to set it up and have a dashboard in front of you is just delightful. That is, and you can buy them in sections, by the way. So you don't have to buy the whole dashboard. You can just buy the little gear lever if you're just looking to do it on a lower budget because you want all of your players to have it in front of them, or if you want to go the whole hog and you want to have the
that's really cool.
Oh, I want it
and all
all.
the rest.
I want it all.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're going to be playing Gaslands, why would you not? Why would you not do that?
Quite a few miles on that clock as well.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. I mean, it's coming to the end of the year, so it's time to turn all the clocks back on the cars on the second-hand lot. But they also do
probably a Skoda.
They also do bits and pieces for the tabletop itself. Then, so gates and jumps and turns and the like. So you can actually populate your board with various billboardy like things, which is always nice. And as you would expect, not you, Crash Barrier. There we go. Templates as well, which are what's needed. But I see a lot of templates. Fine. Lots of people make the templates. It's going to be a thing. But the dashboard setup just blew me away when I seen it, which was really nice.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. And look, you two can mark off when you've spun off terribly because you've been shifting too much. So, yeah, a whole variety of things for Gaslands, which is a game that blew up massively, had a great second edition, and it's kind of... There's people still playing it, but it seems to be you don't hear as much, which is a little bit of a shame because it's absolutely cracking.
Yeah, definitely.
There are people playing it in 10 millimeters now, like scaling it down, and just playing on a even smaller scale. Like I know people who are producing whole sets of that. That's really nice. Lovely.
10 mils, nice.
If you really want, you can set up the Las Vegas circuit from F1.
Basically, yeah.
Just travel Gaslands
and play with micro machines.
Micro machines. So you don't need a full 6x4. You can play it on a smaller board.
Yeah, you can switch basically from Hot Wheels to micro machines. There is maybe a bit less options in terms of like a bit of a fancy looking cars, but you have a lot of weird stuff in micro machines too, and it's probably more expensive because at this point it's hard to find them cheap, but it's really nice.
That's a super cool idea.
But with some of the games out there that are small scale, if you want to upgrade your vehicles with some weaponry and stuff, I'm sure you can find it now, especially with the advent of 3D printing. Just scale it down.
Yeah.
Or just take a rod of styrene and that scale it will work just as well, which is something a bit harder to do on larger scale. Anyways, there is a micro Gasland group on Facebook, which is very active. It's very fun stuff.
Cool.
I must go and have a wee look-see because I'm in the regular Gaslands one, but I completely missed a micro one popping up. Yeah. That's the problem with scale jumping. People tend to drift off and form their own little collectives. I quite like the blue foam box dice tower. It's really nice. It's just cute.
Especially with, new series starting up and everything as well. So people will be diving into that 60th anniversary. People going and playing the role-playing game as well. So you could use this to roll your dice and stuff. Nice little addition. Or maybe just playing 7TV, actually.
I would love someone to make one of these where you throw small dice in at the top and then bigger one come out at the bottom. There's like a lever on the inside.
Yeah.
Just to freak people out.
That would be cool.
You're not right. You've gone wrong, mate. Anyway,
I can tell that.
There are a little set of quick kits. And these are bits and pieces that you can chuck onto your tabletop that are very small, couple of pieces. Incidentals, I think is probably a better way of putting it. So, parking meters, ice machine, or a whole rake of stuff. And yes, you'll see when we hit the moderns, there are certain things that get referenced through burn-in designs that we all know who they are, because I think that's a Nuka-Cola there. So yeah, these are, again, it's the weird bits and pieces. Obviously for Bat, it's great. I even like how they've done the chain link on the swing set. I can't imagine that would be particularly sturdy, robust in the long run. I think I'd probably just go ahead and cut that right off. But for people who don't want to start adding chain to their own stuff, that's just interesting that they've done that. Wacky fun. Look, vodka martinis are like catnip to us cougars. It's great. It's absolutely great. I love it all to bits. So yeah, a whole rake of bits and pieces that you can chuck into your games, whether it happens to be a generator or a massive Liberty coin to put in the back cave. You know, all of these and so much more. But if you put the Liberty coin in, you've got to put in the massissive T-Rex.
Oh, yeah, you got to do the dinosaur as well. Yeah.
It's what we all knew. Batman's a hoarder and a collector just like us.
Yep. And the nodding Derek, which looks like it would actually
look
rotate.
Like it work.
Yeah, it looks like it would function.
Yeah. Which is a whole level of I can't be bothered with thisness. But I admire the fact they've done it.
Yeah.
You know, you two can do it. Anyway, so yeah, the incidental pieces to dress a modern city. And we always talk about this, that you get a lot of terrain, but in the majority of the times, the terrain is fauna, foliage, and buildings. And what you don't see a huge amount of are the things that lie about the streets. So you don't see, you know, the blocked roads, the signs, the fire hydrants, that sort of thing. And apart from adding interest and making a city look like a city, it also adds cover. Not every street, I often run these problems, is you end up having to fill streets with loads of crates or something. And it's like every street has mountains of crates in front of every house just so you have some blocking terrain going down the street. And you go, well, that's not realistic, but maybe a few knocked out cars, some signs, guillotine,
of course.
Just right in front of Parliament,
Yep.
you know, just so they know. These are all good in the hood. So yeah, a variety, modern steampunk and I suppose Wild Westy as well. So that's all quite cool if you're after bits and pieces like that. And then I'll have to do this. You can
6 millimeters.
You can compare and contrast. I'll just sit back and wait now for the I've done it better. But
I've done in 3D. That's a very different beast.
But for fans of things like Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet, I'm fairly certain I've seen that rotating in a Jerry Anderson production in the past. So these are obviously great for BattleTech and Drop Zone, which is kind of where they're aimed at. Probably also work very well for Bot War.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Because that's technically it's a bit smaller. Bot War's around 8 to 10. This is 6, but at the same time, if I want my giant bots kicking a street down, then if the buildings are slightly smaller, it makes the giant bots look even more giant and bot-like. So that's
very true.
Whatever.
Yeah.
See, smaller scale, I think you can fudge the scale on your buildings a little bit more.
Yeah. And this is another prime example of that, using slight curves to get around the fact that it is laser cut out MDF. It's just got, you know, the dividing in it allows it to tile the front and at the same time have a very tiled building look to it as well. All the shiny glasswork. Look, it's the London Eye. If you ever want to push a London Eye over with a giant bot, I know I have.
Where's the Fantastic Four if we need them?
Underneath the giant wheel that I've just pushed over on them with the bot. Take that, the thing.
Those are really nice buildings. I like the way that they've designed them, especially because then you can put in, you know, clear acetate and all that kind of stuff inside, can't you? Well,
Lights.
I mean, some of the negative space stuff they've done is really nice.
Yeah, not every building has to be slammed on solid.
A solid box, yeah.
I mean, they've got a very architectural model feel to them as well. You know, I could see that. Network 23. He's mad as hell and he's not going to take it anymore.
Yeah, they have a very good use of the laser cut in this. I am a bit worried about the cohesion of the different buildings together because they're all individual, very nice individually. But just like you said before, the scattered terrain in between is the thing that glues everything together.
Yeah.
And here it might need a bit of that, but maybe it's ahead in the images. Oh, this looks good.
There's some interesting bits and pieces. There's your mech bays or bot bays. depending
Yeah.
on how you're feeling. So you two,
Pacific Rim music plays in the background.
does BattleTech have music? John probably knows. I
I
imagine
was
there's
talking about a different thing, but okay.
yeah, but these are set up for BattleTech. That's nobody cares.
Well, I mean,
about
I'm sure
Pacific
the old
Rim.
cartoon still has it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Look.
Wall sections as well to defend. Very nice. Yeah.
So yeah, if you're looking to populate a board, you can do that. That's a big thing. There's another stonker. Again, getting the curves in, but in a slightly different way. And in this case, the smaller scale helps because then the fact that you get the grooving on the laser cat around it means that it looks like 2 or 3 levels of glass that are individual, but also you have that paneling again. So
yeah.
play to the
Some of the
strengths.
pearlescent paints we use would be great for that.
Oh, power generators. Immediately, that's an objective you need to destroy or protect.
Why not both?
Yeah.
Destroy it by protecting it.
Oh,
Throw
a
people
big
into
boy.
it. Yeah, and there's tons more. I mean,
Brilliant.
We get lost in
Yeah.
here forever. But yeah, the 6mm stuff's funky,
Mhm.
including look at that.
Wow.
It reminds me of the big archway of the hands with the swords in Iraq.
I'm getting like St. Louis vibes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very true.
Another Ferris wheel for you to push down.
If only there were superheroes underneath it. I mean, mech will have to do. But yeah,
Yeah.
so the
Very
Federation's
nice.
quite funky. There are 2 sets of Old West. So Rock Ridge and Santo Puco. Rock Ridge, where we go riding into town, a whipping and a whopping, a whipping and a killing every living thing to within an inch of his life.
Ooh.
It is a more Wild West Exodus steampunk feel. So-
Very Ghosts of Mars.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah.
That is one of the worst films I've ever heard.
Oh, I know. That's why I love it, because it's so bad it's
Oh
good.
my God. I feel like at that point, Carpenter was just trolling the audience. But yeah, so this is 32mm, slightly bloated scale, but with that steampunk sort of industrial feel to it in places. Obviously spoiled for Wild West Exodus, which is what it's designed for. And as you can see, there's some Wexodus people being all Wexity around it. And that's all. I mean, it's nice.
Looks very cool. I
There's
like
the choo-choo train.
I particularly like the train. I think the train is one of the coolest things in this set, and you could have so much fun doing a big scenario around that. Proper like Wild West Exodus train robbery.
You two
Easily
can
upgraded to make it a bit less flat because everything is laid down so well.
Mhm.
Yeah, adding. I mean, you could sit with a riveting tool and just add rivets.
Sadly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or
Which-
you could 3D
something I
print some
would do.
like tacky bits and just glue them onto
Yeah,
the side.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of greebles would work.
Mhm. Ooh, you could even take off the wheels and turn it into like a monorail hover train thing and do a kind of solo sort of heist. That could be kind of cool.
Definitely so.
Yeah.
just fighting your way down the carriages.
Yeah.
There's a dungeon crawler. You
Yeah.
are fighting from carriage to carriage, attempting
Yeah.
to get to the end to stop it going
Good
into
idea.
the village
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
get
and
up to
then
88
You've got
miles an hour,
Doc Brown up
whatever
the
it is.
front.
Yeah.
You were both in the same boat.
I don't know. As an adventure, it feels a bit railroaded.
You absolute gem.
I mean, I miss games that you were just, on the tracks.
I see what you're doing.
Oh, Santo Poco is more traditional
Ooh.
Western. So you two can do New Mexico, Arizona, break out Billy the Kid and Friends, or if you're playing Napoleonics,
You can do the
and you
Peninsula
want to do
Wars.
Peninsula War stuff. Yes.
I might be looking at that.
Yes. I'm like that, aren't I?
I really like
Terrible
those.
man.
Yeah. Oh, that's a cool tower as well.
It's a heck of a bell tower. Just missing the bell. But now's a great time to get bells. If
Very
anybody's
true.
looking for bells, hit
Yeah.
the shops, grab a Christmas decoration. You're sorted.
Mhm.
Just remove the clapper, because otherwise your little kids will drive you insane ringing the bell as you're playing.
I was just thinking of plastic Christmas tree decoration.
Oh,
There'll be
okay.
loads of them around.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
can
nice
see
variety in this.
Yeah. I like the
Make
The-
a pizza.
have a party, have a shootout at the same time. Yeah. I really liked the arched walkways and stuff because it gives you that kind of cinematic feel of the characters moving between cover, switching between them, ducking out, firing, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You could
shadows.
Get Zorro in there.
Yeah.
Diving around the place. Use On Guard. It'd be great.
The roof texture is really good on that as well, actually.
The tiling,
being flat, yeah. I like that.
So yeah.
Although for the little fountain, I would definitely add a little bit of water effect to that.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, fill it with some nice resins or something. Yeah.
There's something a lot of people forget is these kits are just like a baseline. You can upgrade and do more to them.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, especially with some Adobe buildings or close to Adobe buildings, you can totally apply some bluster. You can just send them down a little bit. They will increase, like the wow effect is going to triple in no time. Of course, they didn't do it because they have to show the product. But if you're buying it in very little time, you can have a huge improvement.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
A look at some of the Sci-Fi.
Kind of feels like Sci-Fi Vietnam.
Oh, yeah. I suppose you could do that.
I'd never even thought of that, yeah.
Yeah.
All the hats.
Mm-hmm.
You two onto your VTOL landing zone.
Stick them in some trees. Get some little teddy bears.
I really should paint my enforcers for Dead Zone.
Is this just pushing you to do that?
It's kind of pushing me to do that, yeah. Maybe a little bit.
Little update for me. I've got 2 units fully done for my orcs now.
Oh, there you go.
Yay!
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
You could run those as Marauders in Dead Zone.
Yeah, I could do.
I really like these though.
Moo,
nice.
moo, moo.
Nice. They've been done in such a way that you could have these as kind of have. I could see them as sort of floating things that you'd have in sort of an ocean board, as they're kind of done there, or you could mount them higher, as we were saying, in some trees. Maybe do something a little bit Ewok-y, perhaps.
Oh, you could do a skyboard.
Do a skyboard, yeah. Introduce those airships we were just looking at, and kind of sci-fi them up a bit. That could be cool. Yeah. Again, things to blow up. Fuel containers.
Things to push people off, Ben.
Things to push people off as well, of course.
Isn't that the main thing?
Yes,
it's just pushing the people off things. Find something high and push them off the top of it. That's why you want to do a skyboard. It's so that everything is push-offable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have... Sorry, go on.
This one is really calling for a star grade for me. It has that. There is a bit of dungeon-y feel in there. Like you can go around, you can have like a story happening there. Really works well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That would be super cool.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
We'll go Dagger's Reach first. There's a lot of fantasy. A lot. And it's, what you would expect to see in a fantasy board, some Tudor-esque buildings and some fortifications.
Hello, Frostgrave and or Mordheim or something in between. Yeah.
See, this genre is where I really think some of the laser cut stuff shines those Tudor houses because it suits with the actual design aesthetics so well.
Oh, and you can do the seed
pack those
smash
gaps
as well.
with rocks and crap.
Yeah.
And the way you
have like one dead body hanging out of it.
Crushed under the rubble.
Man, if you've been watching Kingdom of Heaven, I think most of the wall was made up of dead bodies based on the amount of people between the breach.
Oh no, you died building it. You're now hardpack.
I really like these. Lots of detail.
And again, so easy to upgrade and just enhance what you're getting.
And it's one of the things that I've always said about. Obviously, I like kicking people off things in miniatures games.
Yes.
But it's the height element is so important, I think, because it gives you the idea of scale all the more. Because you can have lots of floor level rubble and that kind of stuff, but actually having tall buildings with lots of stories that you can run through, especially for skirmish games, is just so important, I think. Because it means that you think in different dimensions.
More creative ways to kill people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I could just shoot this guy in the head, but what if I pushed him off something and then shot him in the head? Or shot him in the head and then watched his body fall? That's what
the bullet and the fall killed him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're just the absolute worst. I'm never going up anything tall with you, ever. Anyway, the last one I want to shine light on very briefly is the Metro City.
Yeah.
And it has Brondo. It's what plants crave, which is always good, I feel. And these
so is this like treated stuff? So it's got the covers over the top of it.
Yeah, it looks like laser cut prints.
Very cool.
These are they're designed to be skinned with like paper printed,
right?
So these aren't printed designs onto the MDF, or at least not at the moment, I believe.
Okay.
The idea is that the buildings are relatively easy to sort of store and stack. And then if you want to get a quick effect on them, then you use the...
so it's like a basic facade, and then you just apply whatever you want over the top, kind of thing.
A touch of PVA and the squeegee.
Very cool.
Being able to do things like that, putting like full nice graffiti on the side of a building.
I like the little trick of the depth perception there as well, with the corner sections and things. It's a really nice thing.
And that's something, I mean, we've talked about this. Sarissa do wallpapers and carpets and stuff to do the interiors. Obviously, there are a lot of people who've done paper terrain and cardstock terrain, which have got the textures on it, and railway modelers use it a lot. I think I've got some HO scale on a Hugomont somewhere from forever ago when I was thinking about doing Napoleonics, and just somebody was saying, I think it was Warren actually recently, was going about the durability of cardstock and papercraft it's just not there, and just thinking, but you just glue it straight down to something like this. Look, that's that game. Remember the car game with the clown ice cream truck? It's like on the PlayStation.
Carmageddon? No,
it was Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal, that's it. That's the one. That's why you're here, Justin.
Factoid brain for the win. Although, talking about cardstock, do you remember whenever we did the old Flames of War event where we made Lodoslavia?
Lodoslavia, yes.
Yeah, those buildings are still fine.
Ghostbusters.
Every last one of them is grand.
Ghostbusters. You get to send someone in to turn off the power.
Don't let Slimer out.
Yeah.
Don't let any of them out. They're all terrible people.
I'm so looking forward to the new movie.
Very nice. Yeah.
So yeah,
love
a whole rake of modern-y bits. If you're grinning joke shops, your bus-street type things, but also, here we go, this is what I'm after. And again, back to the curves. Have your little caravans and trailers, and again, food truck.
Nice.
Things like this. Great for The Walking Dead, which is coming back. Mantic, I think, have announced it today, but they were teasing it all week. The Walking Dead is coming back. Be still
my beating heart if it's there, and I'm diving in all the way this time.
A Negan teaser or something, wasn't it? And they were like,
they've done 3 teasers where The Walking Dead have been in the background, and then they went, join us on Friday to find out. So the rumors, because it hasn't been officially announced at this stage, but the rumors are licenses back, and there's like 30 or so models, like a final wave that will finish the Walking Dead storyline that was never done in the initial. So even though I own everything, I've got to come back for seconds. Look at that. The Palace presents, just print that out, stick it on a billboard.
Yeah.
And away you go. So yeah, love those. I love Batman living in a trailer park after he spent all of the Wayne Foundation money on bat stuff, and then he got kicked out of Wayne Manor. Just every week, people sitting on porches, sitting in front of their caravan, and then the bat signal goes up, and that Bruce Wayne fella comes running out and hops in some sort of jalopy that's just been beaten to death.
You just hear it backfiring.
Rips up the street. And they just go back to drinking, smoking their meth. Just imagine what happens. So the world of Gotham's a terrible place, and the trailer parks are even worse in my imagination. So there you are. Yeah. So that is our Indie of the Week. That is Burning Designs.
Awesome.
They lurk in America, for people wondering. But obviously, they will ship internationally. But when you're ordering massive blocks of wood, you may find that the shipping costs are chunkier than expected. But it's always worthwhile.
Yeah.
Sharp.
Oh no, I like it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're going to move on. Have a look at the news. We'll be back after the swish.